Hello everyone, welcome back to the channel. Kanu sir, and I have got the same continuation of gravitational force here. And today's topic is that the changes in gravitational force between two objects in different conditions. So in previous video we have learned that gravitational force is equals to the gravitational constant, first mass, second mass, and the square of the distance between their center. So in the first condition it is said what happens if both masses are double. So in our first case, let us assume as condition number 1, the masses are m1 and m2. Now the new mass for m1 will be 2 times of m1. So we can write m1 dash, and the new mass for m2 dash will be 2 times of m2. Then here the condition is said that the masses are only double, not the distance. So distance is going to be same. Here we can write new force, that is F2. If we assume it as F1, so the new force F2 is equals to G m1 dash m2 dash and d square. So the meaning of m1 is a heavenly body. Let us consider the mass of a sun and the mass of earth, and the square of the distance, and the distance between their center is d. Previously the mass of the sun was m1 and of earth was m2. This time the mass of the sun is made double, so now it is 2 times m1. Similarly it is also double, 2 times m2. The same thing we are going to write here. G m1 dash can be written as 2 times m1, and m2 dash will also be written as 2 times m2, but the distance is same. So you can simply multiply the numbers here. 2 times 2 is 4. G m1 m2 upon d square, that is f2. So we come to know that now the new force between these two heavenly bodies is 4 times of the previous force, which is equal to question number 1 or condition 1. So what happens if both masses are double? Then the force will be 4 times more than the previous. Now let us take the second condition. If the distance between them is double, so this time there is no change in the masses. Now there is change between the distance. So let us consider this distance is d1 in the first condition, first case, for which the gravitational force between two masses is g m1 m2 upon d1 square. Now the next distance let us consider as d2, and that is double of the previous distance, that is d1. Then we can write the formula here. F2 equals to g m1 m2 upon d1 square. Now we will be writing as d2 square because in the first condition it was d1, and in place of d2 you have to write 2 times of the previous distance because the distance between them is double. So 2d1 square. In place of d2 we are writing 2d1, and we will get g m1 m2 upon square of 2, you will get 4 and d1 square. If you again try to separate this term, you will find that new force F2 is 1 over 4 times of the previous force F1, because this whole term or this whole formula is equal to F1. So in this case, if the distance between them is double, then the force, gravitational force between these two objects, the same example, the earth and the sun, if the distance between them is double, then the force between them, gravitational force between them will be 4 times less than the previous force. Now let us go to the third condition. The third condition, it is said that if the distance between them is half. Previously the distance was d1 and the new distance will be just half of the d1, that is d1 by 2. So in place of writing d1 now, we have to write here d1 by 2. In the previous example I have told you the distance between the sun and the earth was d1. Now if it is half, then they are coming closer, it means half of the distance close. So in place of d2 now we can write d1 upon 2 and we have to change here solution. G m1 m2 upon d1 square will get d1 square and square of 2 you will get 4. This 4 will go upwards and will get new condition 4g m1 m2 upon d1 square. It means the new force F2 now it is 4 times of the previous force if the distance between the two heavenly objects or any two objects is half or they are coming closer than previous distance. यसमा हामीले के हेर्दै छौं यो कन्डिसनमा के भनिएको छ भने यदि मासहरु पिण्ड यदि 2 गुना गरिन्छ भने दुवै अब्जेक्टहरुको अनि नयाँ गुरुत्वाकर्षण बल के हुन्छ त त्यसको लागि मानौ हाम्रो अब नयाँ मास नयाँ पिण्ड हुन्छ पहिलो पिण्डको 2 गुना त्यसैगरी दोस्रो पिण्डको पनि भ्यालु चाहिँ 2 गुना हुने भयो अनि तिनीहरुको बीचको दूरी चाहिँ सेम राखिएको छ यथावतै छ अनि हामीसँग भएको फर्मुला फोर्स भनेको gm1 m2 upon d स्क्वायर हो जसमा चाहिँ m1 को ठाउँमा अब m1 ड्याश अनि m2 ड्याश राखेको छौं नयाँ कन्डिसनमा त्यसपछि यो कन्डिसन अनुसार m1 ड्याश को ठाउँमा अब 2m1 राख्ने m2 ड्याश को ठाउँमा 2m2 राख्ने अनि फर्मुला राखिसकेपछि 2 टाइम्स 2 गरेर 4 हुन्छ अनि फाइनलमा के पाइन्छ भने gm1 m1 m2 अपन d स्क्वायर को ठाउँमा हामीले पहिलाको फोर्स f1 राख्न सकिन्छ यसरी के बुझ्न सकिन्छ भने मास डबल गरियो भने फोर्स 4 गुना हुन सक्छ अथवा हुन्छ नि यसमा हामीले के बुझ्दै छौं भने दोस्रो कन्डिसनमा यदि दुवै ठूला अब्जेक्टहरुको बीचको या कुनै पनि दुईटा वस्तुहरुको बीचको दूरी 2 गुना दोब्बर गरियो भने तिनीहरुको बीचको गुरुत्वाकर्षण बल कति हुन्छ भनेर अर्को प्रश्न आयो यसमा चाहिँ के देखिएछ भने पहिलाको जति दूरी थियो त्यसको 2 गुना दूरी भयो भने यहाँ फर्मुलामा 2 गुनाको 2 को स्क्वायर 4 हुन्छ अनि 4 ले हेर्दाखेरि अब के बुझ्न आउँछ भने पहिलाको फोर्स भन्दा अहिलेको नयाँ फोर्स 4 गुना कम हुन्छ अब अर्को कन्डिसनमा त्यसो कन्डिसनमा हामीले यहाँ के देख्छौं भने त्यो दुईटै अब्जेक्टहरुको दुईटै वस्तुहरुको बीचको दूरी यदि घटाइयो भने जस्ट आधा गरियो भने के हुन्छ अब यहाँ दोस्रो कन्डिसन देखिन्छ अर्को नयाँ दूरी बराबर पहिलो दूरीको आधा मतलब अब सूर्य र पृथ्वीको बीचको डिस्टेन्स d1 थियो अब चाहिँ d1/2 भयो आधा भयो दूरी आधा हुँदाखेरि d2 को ठाउँमा हामीले d1/2 राख्न सक्छौं अनि अपन 2 को d1 को स्क्वायर d1 स्क्वायर हुन्छ 2 को स्क्वायर 4 हुन्छ अनि a/b होल c/d को केसमा मानौ यो माथिको gm1 m2 a/b जस्तो हो भने यो a/b इन्टु d चाहिँ माथि जान्छ d/c त्यसैगरी यो 4 माथि गएको हो अनि यहाँ आको हो 4 त्यसपछि यो gm1 m2 d1 स्क्वायर चाहिँ पहिलाकै फोर्स जस्तो देखिन्छ एज अ रिजल्ट के बुझिन्छ भने अहिलेको नयाँ फोर्स चाहिँ पहिलाको फोर्सको 4 गुना बढ्छ मतलब दूरी जति बढ्दै गयो गुरुत्वाकर्षण बल घट्दै गयो अनि दूरी जति घट्दै गयो गुरुत्वाकर्षण बल बढ्दै गयो So this much for this topic. For other topic I will be putting new videos in the channel, so don't forget to like, share and subscribe this channel and keep practicing, keep learning. Bye.